first of all, introduce yourself, tell us your name, pronouns, role and department, and favorite spot on campus.
My name is Carly Flannery. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director of the Office of Sexual Assault and Relationship Abuse Education and Response, which we call the SARA office. My favorite spot on campus is probably the football stadium on game days. I volunteered with the band over the past few years, so being in that environment is really exciting.
Hi everyone, my name is Grace Poon-Ghaffari. I use she, her pronouns, and I also work in the SARA office as the Assistant Director and Education Outreach Manager. My favorite spot on campus is going to have to be Kingscote Gardens. So I invite you to come on by, and that's where a lot of our offices are housed when we're able to also be on campus.
Hi, my name is Brianna Booth. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the Director of Positive Sexuality. My favorite part of campus is also very near Kingscote Gardens, which is the Papua New Guinea Sculpture Garden. I find it very grounding and beautiful.
Hi, y'all. My name is Nadia Callie. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the Education and Outreach Specialist in the SARA office. My favorite spot on campus is Kingscote Gardens, but specifically there's a room that focuses on wellness. So it's great for me to be able to meditate there, be able to clear my head sometimes, and also be able to listen to some good music.
Great, what lovely introductions. To get us started off, can you explain what the Office of Sexual Assault and Relationship Abuse Education and Response is?
Yes, at the SARA office, we believe in communities where everyone is empowered to express themselves and have caring relationships. We work to do that through our mission, and that's to empower the Stanford community, all of us, to end sexual and relationship violence, stalking, gender discrimination, and sexual harassment through our HEART model. And HEART stands for Collaborative Healing, Education, Advocacy, Response, and Transformation.
What specific resources does your department provide, and how do students access these resources?
So delving more into the HEART model, one of the resources, the areas of resource that we provide are healing. We collaborate with offices and departments and students on campus to provide opportunities to heal through multiple modalities.
And we do a lot of our education through a lot of workshops that you can request right on our website. If you just go right to our request a training little button here, you can fill out a form, request a training anytime from us. And then also we will talk a little bit more about different ways that you can get involved. We provide a comprehensive approach to education across our communities on campus, and we always frame our education through the framework of intersectionality, which was framed by Kimberly Crenshaw to understand how power and violence intersect to form different experiences and marginalization. The next part of our HEART model is advocating, and so because we're non-confidential, we help with non-confidential processes on and off campus. What that can look like is going through a Title IX process as a support person, going through a restraining order process, maybe also going to a court and accompaniment, and also filing different paperwork.
And advocating is often closely related to responding, but isn't always. And this is another area where it's really important that our collaborative approach is at the forefront.
And lastly is transforming. So that essentially means being able to change our institution and our culture so that we can be able to have caring relationships in the first place. Going back to what Grace said earlier about intersectionality, we recognize that a lot of the different systems of oppression lead to violence. So that means that in order to address those issues, address oppression in different ways, we center our minoritized communities. And that also means being able to collaborate with a lot of different people on campus.
So for our next question, can you talk about Beyond Sex Ed and other educational or outreach programs that SARA supports?
Yeah, I'll speak about Beyond Sex Ed. Beyond Sex Ed is one of the first major programs that you'll attend when you come to Stanford. It's based on the premise that one of the hardest things to do when it comes to sex and sexuality is to have actual conversations. If we can't talk about it, we can't get better at it, at consent conversations, at ending violence, at building positive relationships. So Beyond Sex Ed is the opportunity for the whole community to start a thoughtful conversation about sex, sexuality, intimacy, and relationships. And we do that by hearing personal stories from your peers. After that, you'll participate in a conversation circle where you can reflect on your own thoughts and feelings in response to these stories. All of this is designed to develop each individual student's sexual citizenship, which honors that you have the right to sexual self-determination.
We'll only highlight just a few of our key programs. The first one that I wanted to highlight was our Upstander Intervention program, where we provide workshops that are typically 2 hours long to be able to train different students across our campus communities on ways to intervene and prevent violence. We believe that violence is preventable when we are able to move upstream to prevent those little things that happen maybe on the day-to-day that are so normalized in our society. And then the other one that I wanted to highlight is our Violence Intervention Prevention program. If you are interested in being part of fraternity and sorority life, there is a peer education program made for fraternity sorority life that educates peers to be a resource and support system for their chapter members to be able to understand how to prevent and intervene in sexual violence, and then also how to support survivors on campus. And so you can learn more about that. And then lastly, I'm going to highlight is our Awareness Month initiative. We have several different awareness months, starting with the first one, which is October, Dating Domestic Violence Awareness Month, all the way throughout the year. And our biggest one is April Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And the purpose of these awareness months is to raise awareness around all these different issues that affect our campuses and are beyond. And so feel free to learn more and ways to engage in our different campaigns every month.
Some of our other programs that are identity focused is, one of them is Flip the Script. So this program focuses specifically on women identified students on campus. It's an empowerment program to be able to address sexual and relationship violence. So students learn about physical and verbal self-defense skills, also be able to debunk rape myths, and also be able to just provide a space to really cultivate relationship values that they have as well. One of our other programs is Going Off Script. So this program specifically focuses on men identified students on campus. So that one is, again, a prevention program, but also a way for students to be able to know what actions they can take to prevent violence, but then also how they can develop their own positive sexuality as well. And of course, both of these programs have always been inclusive of our trans and non-binary students as well.
Cool. So in our final question, do you have any lasting advice for our incoming new students?
One piece of advice that myself as a first-generation college student wants to share with y'all is that there are lots of folks on campus or in our virtual campus who want to help. So if you're running into issues and you don't know what to do, reaching out and asking for help is something that I would really encourage, because there are so many folks on our campus, including staff, that do want to help.
The one lasting advice that I would provide to everyone coming to Stanford is that everyone always has cultural wealth to be able to navigate exactly what they're going to be going through. So I invite you to think about what your cultural wealth is and how you want to utilize that cultural wealth to navigate significant challenges that may come during the college experience.
The advice that I was thinking about is that it's when you're coming to college, it's normal to worry about fitting in. The hard work, though, is in knowing yourself and speaking your truth. So when you honor yourself in this way, you can support others to do the same.
Advice that I have is to just be able to take breaks and have grace with yourself. I know that being in college and also being at Stanford can be really draining at different times. Just be able to rejuvenate. I think that's incredibly important for you to be able to have a great and relaxing as possible college experience.
All right, thank you all so much for joining us to talk about SARA.